Nancy Kulp truly hated him more than anyone. Nancy Kulp, a beloved American actress, left an indelible mark on television, film, and stage through her memorable performances and unique charm. Born on August 28, 1921, in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, Kulp grew up in a family deeply rooted in education and academia. Her father, Robert Tilden Kulp, was a prominent school principal, and her mother, Marjorie C. Snyder, worked as a teacher. Raised in a household that valued education and intellectual pursuits, Kulp excelled academically. She later attended Florida State University, where she earned a degree in journalism. Nancy's initial career choice reflected this intellectual background. She started as a publicity writer for television stations and even worked for the Miami Herald, seemingly paving a path toward a career in media rather than acting. However, the course of her life would change dramatically during World War II. Driven by a sense of duty and patriotism, Kulp enlisted in the United States Naval Reserve, where she served with distinction, reaching the rank of lieutenant junior grade. Her military service helped shape her disciplined and determined character, traits that would later serve her well in Hollywood. Kulp's post-war career took a surprising turn when she decided to try her hand at acting, moving to Hollywood in the early 1950s. There, she found work as a character actress, quickly building a reputation for playing eccentric, comedic roles that showcased her distinctive voice and quirky mannerisms. Kulp's big break came in 1962 when she was cast as Miss Jane Hathaway on the hit CBS sitcom The Beverly Hillbillies. This role would become the defining one of her career, as she portrayed the prim and proper yet endearingly awkward secretary to banker Milburn Drysdale. Her character, who had an amusing crush on the show's backwoods character Jethro, was beloved for her comedic timing and expressive reactions. For 9 seasons, Kulp brought a unique blend of intelligence, wit, and warmth to the role, earning her a place in the hearts of millions of viewers. Her portrayal was so iconic that even after the show ended, Kulp remained closely identified with Miss Hathaway, a testament to how deeply she had embodied the character. Beyond the Beverly Hillbillies, Kulp's career included many other notable roles in both film and television. She appeared in classic movies such as The Model and The Marriage Broker, 1951, and Sabrina, 1954, where she held her own alongside major Hollywood stars. In television, Kulp guest starred on a variety of popular series including I Love Lucy, Perry Mason, and The Twilight Zone, showing her versatility as an actress. Her range of performances, from comedic to more serious roles, demonstrated that she was far more than just a one-note performer. Yet it was her ability to inject humor and humanity into every role that made her so memorable to audiences. In addition to her acting talents, Kulp had a lifelong interest in public service. After her acting career began to wind down, she made an unexpected foray into politics. In 1984, she ran for a seat in the U.S. House of Representatives as a Democrat in her home state of Pennsylvania. Though she was ultimately unsuccessful in her campaign, losing to Republican incumbent Bud Shuster, her bid for Congress reflected her deep commitment to community and civic engagement. Kulp's political run was notable because it revealed another side to the actress, one that was fiercely independent, intellectually engaged, and passionate about social issues. Her attempt to transition from Hollywood to the political arena was ahead of its time, especially for a woman in the mid-1980s, and further solidified her as a trailblazer in both entertainment and public life. Nancy Kulp's deep resentment toward Buddy Ebsen, her co-star on the classic TV show The Beverly Hillbillies, became one of the most talked about off-screen feuds in television history. Their animosity was particularly striking because, on screen, the characters they played had an amicable, often humorous relationship. Kulp portrayed Miss Jane Hathaway, the secretary to the wealthy Clampett family's banker, while Ebsen played Jed Clampett, the down-to-earth patriarch. Their interactions on the show never hinted at the real-life tension bubbling beneath the surface. The tension between the two co-stars, especially from Kulp's side, became more public later in their careers, but the seeds of discord were sown during the early days of the show's production in the 1960s. Ebsen and Kulp were fundamentally different personalities, which may have contributed to their difficulties. Ebsen, a former vaudevillian and movie star, was known for his conservative political views and traditional values. Culp, on the other hand, was more progressive, intellectually inclined, and had aspirations beyond Hollywood, which would later lead her to pursue a career in politics. The sharp contrast in their worldviews often made for uncomfortable working conditions, as they were reportedly unable to find common ground in either personal or professional matters. One of the most significant blows to their relationship came when Culp ran for Congress in 1984 as a Democrat in Pennsylvania. During her campaign, Ebsen publicly opposed her candidacy, something that deeply hurt Culp and escalated their feud. Ebsen, who held staunch conservative beliefs, endorsed her Republican opponent in the race, which felt like a personal betrayal to Culp. He even recorded a radio ad criticizing her political stance and questioning her qualifications for office. For Culp, this wasn't just a professional disagreement, it was an attack on her character and aspirations beyond acting. Ebsen's actions during her political campaign are widely believed to have worsened their already tense relationship, cementing her dislike of him. Culp never fully forgave Ebsen for what she saw as a deliberate and deeply personal affront. In later interviews, she described Ebsen as a man she couldn't respect. The bitterness she harbored was evident when she spoke about him, often in terms that reflected not only a professional rivalry but a personal loathing. According to various reports, she once said that she found it difficult to be in the same room with Ebsen, and she struggled to conceal her disdain even in the presence of others. For Culp, their philosophical and political differences seemed irreconcilable, and she expressed that Ebsen represented everything she disliked in people. Despite their personal animosity, both Culp and Ebsen maintained professionalism on set, ensuring that their off-screen feud didn't negatively impact their performances on the Beverly Hillbillies. However, those who worked closely with them on the show often noticed the undercurrents of tension between the two. While the cast was generally described as cohesive and friendly, the rift between Culp and Ebsen was one of the rare exceptions to the otherwise harmonious working environment. In later years, as the feud became public knowledge, fans of the Beverly Hillbillies were often surprised by the level of animosity between Culp and Ebsen. For many, it was hard to reconcile their charming on-screen dynamic with the hostility that existed off-camera. Culp's dislike for Ebsen, however, went beyond the usual clashes between co-workers. It was rooted in a deep ideological divide and personal hurt, making it one of the more intense feuds in classic Hollywood television. To this day, the story of Nancy Culp's resentment toward Buddy Ebsen serves as a reminder that not all working relationships, even in the world of television, are as harmonious as they may appear to audiences. Culp's personal life was marked by her independent spirit. While she was known for being a private person, she was admired by her colleagues and fans for her candor, warmth, and resilience. In the later years of her life, Nancy Culp moved to a small town in Pennsylvania, where she taught acting and drama at Juniata College. Her dedication to mentoring young actors and sharing her wealth of experience exemplified her generosity of spirit. She remained active in her community until her health began to decline in the early 1990s. In 1991, she was diagnosed with cancer, a battle she faced with the same courage and dignity that characterized her entire life. Nancy Culp passed away on February 3, 1991, at the age of 69, leaving behind a legacy that extended far beyond her iconic role on the Beverly Hillbillies. She was remembered not only for her memorable performances on screen but also for her service to her country, her contributions to education, and her political activism. Culp's life serves as an inspiring reminder that there is more to a performer than what we see on screen. Behind her comedic roles and Hollywood persona was a woman of immense character, intellect, and compassion, whose impact on both the entertainment industry and the world at large continues to be felt. In tribute to her remarkable career, Culp's contributions to television are often celebrated in retrospectives of classic TV shows, particularly for her unforgettable portrayal of Miss Hathaway. Her comedic genius continues to resonate with new generations of viewers discovering the Beverly Hillbillies, and she remains a beloved figure in the history of American television. Though she may not have been a household name like some of her contemporaries, Nancy Culp's legacy is one of quiet but powerful influence. She broke barriers in Hollywood by carving out a niche for herself as a character actress and demonstrated through her political and educational efforts that success in entertainment can be just one chapter in a multifaceted, meaningful life. In remembering Nancy Kulp, we honor not just the actress who made us laugh, but the woman of substance behind the roles. Her contributions to television, her service to her country, and her dedication to helping others leave an enduring legacy that reflects a life well lived.